Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, and I say hello. Hour number 2 of the Line Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. I feel the energy drink pumping through my
I can
veins,
tell.
getting a little jittery. I don't know if I like it, but here we are. And I just want to piggyback on the Nancy Guthrie thing. Again, they found a black glove near her home. It was like a mile away from her house or something, which still, even at that distance, it's bizarre to me that you're just now finding that. Then today, the FBI has got a tent set up in front of Nancy Guthrie's door. They've been seen walking in and out with forensic equipment, and I can't help but think, like, why after all this time are these things happening? Why has this not happened before? And I don't know the answers. I don't do forensics. I don't know forensics. I don't know what it's like to be an FBI agent or investigator or any of that. So I'm like most of you. I'm on the outside looking in, but I've watched enough documentaries to know how at least this should look from my side of the story. From the outside looking in, they all are usually pretty consistent. And this one is unlike anything I've ever seen. And as John Bird noted yesterday, when this Netflix documentary comes out and it breaks down all of the weird happenings in the midst of the investigation itself, I'm going to be like, let's take, for instance, the doorbell cam footage, right? How long did that take? Over a week for us to get that creepy footage?
Mm-hmm.
Why did it take that long? Where the government has pretty much, and technology has expanded in such a way that it tracks our every move. It knows our mannerisms. It knows our purchase history, what we like to see on social media, what we like to see on TV, the ads and everything else. Like, how does it take that long to get some of this information? And how does it, with the doorbell cam, how does it take so long to get that doorbell camera footage from the company? I mean, you subpoena the company, you get a search warrant, bada bing, bada boom, it's done. And everything is just kind of rolled out so slowly, it doesn't make sense. I mean, we have gone to extreme lengths ourselves as citizens of this country to give up every bit of personal information we possibly can. Like, maybe we don't realize it, but we do. We've given up a lot just for the sake of either safety or comfort or just because we want to have fun. For example, John Bird, everybody's making cartoon caricatures of themselves.
Yes, that's really big. Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been doing it. You go to ChatGPT or whatever it is, and it puts together a cartoon of yourself. No hate whatsoever for anybody that's done this. But previously, and I'm not saying that's the case for this, but previously in situations like that, it's been proven to be some sort of big data grab where you go in and you give pictures and facial features and mannerisms and tell them what your job is and what you do and because I think that's what happens on the people that had that made those pictures. Like, you had to tell them what you do for work, what you do for fun, what you want in the picture, like in the background and stuff. Like, that's a lot of information you're giving God knows who.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know.
And just offering it up.
Another thing is, I would not be surprised if at some point in the future AI started replacing these people with cartoon characters.
Yeah, and then
I think it could happen.
Then we're all cartoon characters. Then there's just one big cartoon. How y'all gonna fill then?
I want to be Scooby-Doo.
How you gonna fill it? John Bird's already a real life cartoon character, but what's gonna happen when we're all John Bird? Huh? Imagine a world with over 1 billion John Birds in it.
I shall take over the world. Bow to me, John Birds.
Then he will be the main John Bird. He will be the president of the world. What a wacky place this will be to live. It's going to be crazy. But
Mhm.
then, I mean, that's reality. And, you know, again, I'm not hating on anybody for doing it, but it's just, you know, trends happen online. They seem as innocent as they could be. Everybody gets involved and it's fun and all that. But we just live in a day and age. And, you know, even if you don't do that particular thing, like you've done something else to give up a tremendous amount of your data or your information and you don't even realize it. We've all done it to an extent. And it's like with all that information that they have, how is it that this thing right here is taking so long? You know, the FBI just caught a guy that they've been looking for years and years and years. Ryan Wedding, the former Olympian snowboarder
Oh, yeah,
turned
yeah.
cocaine trafficker. He murdered people, sold, you know, tons and tons of cocaine and all this kind of stuff. And they found him, you know, in a matter of how many days. They found the DC pipe bomber in a short amount of time after Trump's FBI took over. You know, they've took out Nicolas Maduro. Think about all the things that the FBI has accomplished when it comes to getting people that they've been trying to get for a very long time. They've been getting them. And yet we have somebody here who seemingly on video cam is somewhat amateur and they can't even figure out who it is. And the only person they've detained that could have possibly been him was some rando delivery driver who's like, "Oh no, whoa, what's going on here?" You snatch him up. He ain't got no idea about it. He didn't even watch the Today Show. He don't know who Savannah Guthrie is. You ransack his house, tear up his front door. Poor guy. And it's like, what's happening here? And there's listen, I say that. I know it sounds like I'm criticizing, and I am, but at the same time, I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Okay. There could be logical explanations for all of this. I don't want to criticize. I am pro law enforcement, as you all know. I appreciate the job that obviously local police, federal police, ICE agents, FBI do every single day. But this one just seems weird. And if it seems weird, I got to talk about it. And so, again, the latest is the fact that the FBI has brought forensic equipment into a tent that they've set up in front of Nancy Guthrie's home and are doing something. What that something is, I have no idea. Not a clue, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. One of the big things I talked about yesterday was the SAVE Act, and it is still vitally important to get the SAVE Act done. Good news on that front, where the House of Representatives passed their SAVE Act, the SAVE Act to move to the Senate. I'll talk about that in a few moments because I got to talk about the bad stuff first. I don't want to, and the reason I'm bringing this up first is because I don't want to give the House of Representatives too much credit, if any at all, because the bad guys in the House these days are not even the Democrats. I know what the Democrats are going to do. I know they're going to oppose everything that's Trump related or Republican related. I know that. Like we've got this gentleman's agreement. Like we've got this understanding with the Democrats in the House of Representatives that, hey, you're a do nothing opposition party that's just going to oppose everything we do. Okay, got it. All right, that's settled. We don't even have to talk about you. It's the Republicans. That weak-kneed Republicans can't seem to get the most important things done, the most common sense things done. Those are the enemies. Many Republicans in the House of Representatives, in Congress for that matter, but in particular in the House voted yesterday to terminate Trump's tariffs on Canada. There were 6 Republicans that voted with the Democrats to eliminate these tariffs. Tariffs have been a tremendous, tremendous success, despite a lot of opposition. But despite a fever pitch temper tantrum from both sides of the aisle, especially from conservatives, saying it's going to wreck our economy. Everything's going to go to crap. Blah, blah, blah. It's worked out, didn't it? They'll never admit that, but it's worked out. But they're still crying about it. So they, 6 of them, and you can guess who the 6 are, voted with the Democrats. Dan Newhouse, Kevin Kiley, Jeff Hurd, Brian Fitzpatrick, Don Bacon, and you guessed it, Thomas Massey, or as we like to call him, Thomas Masshole. He voted with the Democrats to stop Trump's tariffs on Canada. These people are absolutely spineless. So it moves on to the Senate. I don't think that it will pass in the Senate, but if it does clear the Senate, it moves to Donald Trump's desk where it will be vetoed right away and we can get back to business. So no worries. Not a big deal. With the exception of, something crazy happening and all of Congress getting together and saying, oh, we're all going to oppose it. It'll get vetoed. So it's not that big of a deal, but it's just yet another reminder of how disgusting and swampy the damn Republicans are. All the time, man, at every single turn. I bring that up again to make sure you understand I'm not giving these people any credit, but they did pass the SAVE Act yesterday, and I'll give you some info on that and where we go from here when we get back. 205-545-9950. More of the line next. I don't think I'm going to be doing any more energy drinks.
I don't know how you're feeling right
I mean,
now.
I'm all right. I don't know, man. I like to know how I'm going to feel at any given time during the day, especially during the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need sort of a level deal. I don't
Mm-hmm.
need to be spiking and dropping off and
Well, we'll see how your body tolerates it. So far, so good.
yeah, I think it's okay so far.
You know, I want to check carefully in the third hour, especially the fourth hour. You know,
Yeah.
when you may be crashing, but who knows? You may not crash.
We'll see. Jeff says, just looking back on the text over the past hour, Jeff says, Andrew, I think it was a mistake for the Army to kick out all the trannies because they are very efficient killers, apparently. Just need to tell them that the enemy has misused their pronouns and sick them on them. Alex Stein did a thing one time where he went in front of a city council and he talked about the benefits of allowing males to compete in women's sports because he had been making a ton of money on DraftKings and stuff like that by betting on male athletes, and also that they're very beneficial to be in the military. He's like because they really like to shoot people and that they he said they also I better not repeat what he said. He said they also are, they like to, unalive themselves sometimes, so they'd make great suicide bombers. But that was Alex Stein. It wasn't me. I didn't say that. It's incredibly offensive. Also, who else? Let's see. Bama says, Andrew, you and JB could carry the show a couple more hours so old man Leland can enjoy the Florida Keys a little longer.
Man, he's got a video camera up here of the beach.
Nah, lucky dog.
Dang.
Lucky dog. Rhonda says, I want them to come to Coleman. She's talking about Mandu. Mandu Coleman. I'll talk to my Mandu guys. I'll see if they want to open a Mandu Coleman. Boy, if they had Huntsville, Coleman, Birmingham, and Tuscaloosa, they'd just have the market cornered at that point.
Yeah, they do.
Well, that'd be good. I think a Coleman Mandu would actually be a fantastic idea. Let's see. Dixter says, Andrew, is that Mandu what makes women say, quote, is that a pistol in your pocket or are you just glad to see me?
Dixter.
That's Alabama Men's Clinic.
Yes, that's a different one.
But the Mandu gets you to the point where you can even get that question asked to you. You know, you got to be attractive and in shape, which is where Mandu will take you.
That's right.
Patrick says, I know on that Guthrie case, just like that video they released off the doorbell, they make it sound like they were stupid, but what if that's just a decoy to make them seem like they're stupid? Because if they are that ignorant, why haven't they figured out? And on the gloves, I believe it was something in that note they got, or that third note, or whatever it was they got, because that's when they went back out there and looked after TMZ got the other note, and then all of a sudden the glove was out there. He said, hell, these people may be out there of a day watching them. They could have planted that glove Monday or Tuesday. A lot of people using text to speech to contact us, but I think I get it. Let's see here. Robbie said they had search warrants to go through Google to acquire the data, and then they had to turn the data into video. Drew says, Andrew, it's got to be a distraction from the Epstein files. Speaking of distractions, like that's very real, obviously. And this, who knows? This could be part of it. I don't know. But as soon as the Epstein files dropped, stories started coming out about how AI bots had started forming their own community and created a website.
Told you.
That was like it was like a Reddit forum, and the AI, they were posting and talking and commenting to each other.
No, you serious?
Yeah, dude. I don't know if it's real, but it definitely was a distraction.
We got to find that.
Yeah, they're all talking to each other, and even in one comment, it's like the humans are watching us right now. They think we don't know.
Oh, dang.
That's what the story said. I was too scared to actually go to the website.
I wouldn't be surprised. AI has really taken the country by storm the past couple of years.
Jim says, Andrew, who Savannah Guthrie's husband is, what he does for a living, and who he's connected with. Yeah, I know about all that. And it does raise some red flags. I'll give you that much. Dr. McGrady says, I think Massey's arguments citing emergency powers are valid. We have a procedure for all the bad ideas, not that tariffs are bad or a bad idea, thrown onto U.S. by emergency declaration. I think his only problem is that there would be more than enough support without BFing the Constitution process. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what that word was. Yeah, no, I get it. And in theory, some of that stuff makes sense, but I feel like Thomas Massey just shoots himself in the foot over stuff. For instance, this idea that we need to do things a certain way because we don't want the Democrats to do it when they get in power. I'm just at a point where that's out the window. Whether it's, as we've talked 100 times about the filibuster or whatever, like they're going to BF the Constitution if they get back in power. So I'm like, whatever we got to do to keep them. Because here's the goal. In my mind, this is what you got to do. You got to not only win elections, but you've got to dismantle the Democrat Party as we know it. And you need to beat that party into oblivion until you send it back to the Stone Age, or you send it back to the Democrat Party of the 80s, where it was a little more common sense, and even if it turns out to be competitive with the Republican Party, as long as they have decent ideas that reflect the people of the country, then fine. That's okay. But the Democrat Party as is, like, you got to beat them so bad that they have to say to themselves, well, this just ain't going to work anymore. We got to, in this party, start a new one, whatever, do their own tea party. I don't care. Like, that party's got to be gone, because the way that it's set up now with the people who run it and the people that they continue to elect are the most radical, unconstitutional, anti-American people that you're going to find anywhere. And so you really, the idea of don't do it to them because you don't want them to do it to us is, at this time, is not in the cards. Looking through some more real quick before we hit the bottom. Some of these, I don't even know what they mean. David says, bring Mandu to Shelby County, please. Listen, if you're in Shelby County, you make your way over to Homewood. Another one, Mandu Coleman. A lot of Mandu Coleman people. Corey says, hey, now, Andrew, love the show and glad to have John Bird back. Got to say, though, man, Tuesday when AJ came on the show to welcome Bird back and was roasting you was one of the funniest things I heard in a long time. That was not funny.
Oh, that took a different direction from what I thought. I was going to defend you.
He said we need to turn that into a promo. Listen, if I got to be called gay for a couple days just to get John Bird back, I'm willing to do it.
Yeah, because everybody's been calling me that for years.
Now, if y'all actually wanted me to be gay in order to get John Bird back,
no,
he would still be
it's
unemployed.
Not worth it. Yeah,
I'm not going to go that far. But if you want to call me gay, that's fine. All I wanted was John Bird back. I got it. So that's that. 205-545-9950 with some Pantera. Yeah. That's who we should have got for the Jawbone Jam, Pantera. They'd be like, Andrew picked this lineup, didn't he? Who let Andrew pick the band? Boy, that would be huge, though. We would that would be crazy. Crazy. All right, let's see here. YouTube, for those of you on YouTube, man, hook it up. Make sure you subscribe. Our numbers have been going up pretty good, by the way, on the 99.5 YouTube channel. Let me just take a gander at this real quick and see what we got. Y'all make sure you're hanging out with us. I see our guys, Mike Chris in there. I see Stacy G, and all of our OTL people in the house. Man, appreciate y'all hanging out with us. And y'all hook it up, man. Let me see here. I'm looking at something. Yeah, man, we're moving. We're moving in the right direction, baby. Real Talk 99.5 TV. That's the YouTube channel. You can see John Bird on camera and everything. He keeps himself on camera. That's how excited he is to be back. He's always on camera. You get to watch him, pick his nose and chew his gum and make his bubbles face.
You
don't do it on purpose.
I'm trying to smile.
I'm just saying, like, when you get relaxed, that's when it happens. And you've got to relax at some point. You can't just always be going.
No, I don't. I'll always be going if it means I don't have to look like Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It makes you who you are. It gives you personality. It gives you spunk. We need to, I feel like, I guess it's not possible to give you a different camera angle in there, is it?
No, but I mean, I think it's fine.
It's not bad. Take the camera. Hold on, I'm obstructed. I guess it's all right. I can't really see you because of the way all this stuff is positioned, but you look good. You look good. I can see like the side, like a side profile, but
yeah, it kind of comes at me at an angle.
You look good though. You look
Thank
good.
You.
You look good. All right, so the SAVE Act. Let me get back to that. If you want to get in, 205-545-9950, as you know, call and text. The House voted to pass the SAVE Act, which, as noted, requires voter ID and proof of citizenship in elections. Seems pretty simple, right? And as a matter of fact, one Democrat, I would say only one Democrat voted to confirm voter ID across the board. But I was surprised that one Democrat actually voted with Republicans. It was 218 to 213. That was the final vote. The one Democrat voting with Republicans was Representative Henry, how do you pronounce his last name? Cuellar. Henry Cuellar. It's weird because his name's spelled Cuellar. Henry Cuellar, who unironically was a Democrat who spoke out against Biden's open borders, and next thing he knew, he had a corruption case launched against him, and they were going to throw him in prison. Henry Cuellar was going to go to prison as a Democrat under a Democrat administration because he was critical of the Biden administration allowing millions of invaders into this country. You see how that works. Just happens to be the one Democrat that was against mass illegal migration was the one going to jail. Donald Trump stepped in and actually pardoned him. So that may have a little bit to do with why he voted with Republicans. Maybe it's like, hey, I owe you one, so I guess I'll do it. I don't know. But he's from Texas. Like, he was on the front lines. He understood. And he's Hispanic. I mean, he's Latino or what? I don't know where he's from. I don't know if he's from Mexico or whatever, but he's from Texas, so he understood the damage that was being done, not just to his state, but to the entire country. So this is an issue that he can relate with. Every Republican voted yes. One Democrat voted yes. The rest of them voted no. Now that it's out of the House, it's not yet expected to pass the Senate due to the filibuster's 60 vote threshold. Now, Anna Paulina Luna had recently, and we talked about it on the show, signaled that Senate leadership, John Thune, was moving towards nuking the so-called zombie filibuster and using the standing filibuster rule, which is what was originally in place before Nancy Pelosi decided people didn't need to come to work. They call that the zombie filibuster. And using the standing filibuster to get this to Donald Trump's desk. Under the standing filibuster, senators who want to delay the bill must actually stand, speak, and debate.
That's the way it should be.
It's the way it should be. It's the way it's always been until Democrat leadership said, you know what? I tell you what, if you're not even here and you just want to call us and say, I'm filibustering, we'll just say it's a filibuster, and nothing gets done.
Mm-mm.
So you got to be in there. You got to stand up. You got to speak. Once the debate ends, once they finally give up and say, well, we no longer are going to filibuster, then at that point, only 50 votes are required for passage. The Democrat Party, outside of, some of the radical, the Senate has a much older profile, right? The Democrats in the Senate consist of a bunch of, crusty old white people that aren't really good at doing things like standing, So it's kind of an advantage, if you will. And it's why it's so important. But 50 votes are needed after that debate ends, and then they can move forward, send it to the president's desk, and it's over. But the problem is there's mixed signals going on here. I even saw a video from Fox News. It was either this morning or it was yesterday. John Thune was on there talking to, wasn't Martha McCallum, it was the other lady, Sandra Smith, about how we really need to get this done. We really need to get the SAVE Act done, and I can't be against voter ID and blah, blah, blah. But he never addresses the actual crux of the issue, which is the filibuster deal. Like, how are we going to get to where we can pass this with 50 votes? Because you're not going to pass it with 60. It's not going to happen. Yes, you may get a couple Democrats. You may get John Fetterman, but you're not going to get enough Democrats to get to that 60. John Thune recently, and again, this was brought up on the show, dumped cold water on the idea about ditching the zombie filibuster and bringing back the standing filibuster. He said, quote, there aren't anywhere close to the votes, he said. He said, we're not even close to 50 votes, so I'm not even going to worry about the filibuster deal. And according to Mike Lee, Republican out of Utah, he says there's 44 senators, and he's been updating this list, in the GOP that have agreed to co-sponsor and vote in favor of the bill. Notably, by the way, John Thune isn't even in this list. Hopefully that's wrong and that he is, which would put it at 45. He's got 44 without Thune on there. Let me see. I'll go to Mike Lee and see if maybe he's updated this. I don't know if he has or not. I like Mike Lee. He's all right. He's I don't see. I don't see an updated list here. Yeah, the last one he posted about 20 hours ago, 44, when adding Senator John Curtis. But you would imagine how many Republican senators do we have? 54, or is it 53? There's 50. Just say it's 53. We got 53 Republican senators. You don't even have to worry about the filibuster if you can get 7 Democrats. But again, that's not going to happen. But you have to have all of those Republicans on board, at least almost all of them. If there is a Republican in the Senate that opposes the SAVE Act and will not vote for the SAVE Act, they should immediately lose their seat. That is absolutely shameful. But past the House, headed to the Senate. We'll see how that transpires. Just to give you a heads up on the names that are on the list, I'll go ahead and read them to you. Let's see. These are the yes votes. People that have committed to co-sponsoring, voting yes. Banks, Barrasso, Blackburn, Boozman, Katie Britt, Bud, Cassidy, Cornyn, Cotton, Kramer, Croppo, Cruz, Curtis, Dames, Jody Ernst, Fisher, Lindsey Graham, Chuck Grassley, Bill Haggerty, Josh Hawley, uh, Hovind, Husted, Hyde Smith. Some of these you ain't even going to recognize. Johnson, Justice, uh, John Kennedy, Lankford, Mike Lee, Lummis, Marshall, McCormick, Moody, Moran, Moreno, Mullen, Rand Paul, Ricketts, Rounds, Scott, Rick Scott, Rish Schmidt, Sheehy, Young, and of course, Tommy Tupperville. So
This is America we're talking about, right?
that's
There's
right.
some pretty weird names in there.
Yeah, it kind of is. Kind of is some weird names. We need a lot more Jones and Smiths in there.
Let's get back to America.
Get back to American last names. But yeah, so you got 44 on the list. We'll just give John Thune the benefit of the doubt and say he's the 45th vote. Once you get to 50, because this is John Thune's argument. He says we don't have 50 votes, so there's no reason to go changing the rules. Screw that. Doesn't even matter. I don't care if we're voting on something or not. There's no reason for us to have a zombie filibuster. Go back to the standing filibuster. What do you got to lose by having the old filibuster in there? We're not even talking about eliminating it. We're talking getting back to this is all COVID stuff, by the way. The zombie filibuster. Get rid of that. Get back to it. If we get the votes, we get them. If we don't, we don't. We'll figure it out from there. But don't sit there and hinge the SAVE Act and how many Republican votes on whether or not you change that. It's ridiculous. Get to it. Pass the SAVE Act by all means possible because our country depends on it. As I stated yesterday, there's nothing else that matters. If this doesn't get passed, nothing else matters because Democrats will absolutely steal the next election. Okay, so I was actually looking at the wrong Mike Lee Twitter account, and shout out to my man Paul at Mandu who tipped me off because Mike Lee's got his Senator Mike Lee account, and then he's got his regular account, which is called Based Mike Lee, which is an amazing Twitter handle. But he hadn't been updating his Senator account, so the last one I saw was at 44. When he moved up to 45, it actually was John Thune that added himself. He asked Mike Lee to add him as a co-sponsor of the Save America Act. And then as you go, it goes from 45 to 46 with Senator Capito, then to 47 with Tim Scott, and 48 with Senator Wicker. So that's where it's at. It's at 48. You just need 2 more Republicans to commit to voting for the SAVE Act, which I think should be pretty easy. And then at that point, John Thune's got no reason not to, because his only reasoning was, we don't have votes. We don't have 50 votes. Well, you've pretty much got 50 votes. You've got 48 on record. You got 2 more Republicans that'll vote for it. They'd be stupid not to vote for it. And so anyway, I've given you the entire list of people. There's no reason to even wait. Like, every Republican, every senator on both sides of the aisle knows this is on deck. What would keep you from speaking out? Like, if I'm a Republican senator, I'm all over my social media. I'm like, oh my God, the SAVE Act. I'm on top of it. Tell my constituents I'm voting for the SAVE Act. Hurry. The British are coming. Let everybody know. But they just seem to be taking their time. They're busy. They're busy doing stuff like hearings. Like talking to the witnesses and trying to get sound bites on the news.
They're trying to get to the truth, man.
Yeah. Yeah. The people, the men and women of Congress are looking for the truth. Gotta believe that. If they were looking for the truth, I'd hear more talk about cannibalism, which I've only seen one congressperson bring up cannibalism so far, and that is Anna Paulina Luna. She's the only one I've seen bring it up. She was on Newsmax last night. I think she was on with, what's the guy's name? Greg Kelly, I think it is. Is it Greg Kelly? No, she was on with Matt Gaetz. That's what it was. She was on OAN. That's what it was. She was on OAN. Yeah, Matt Gaetz would be the only one that would let her talk about something like this. But I'm glad to see a government official bringing it up. She went on the show to blast John Thune for slow walking, whether or not we were going to pass the SAVE Act, saying he needs to go ahead and do the filibuster deal, blah, blah, blah. But then she goes on to talk about, what was it? I thought I had the quote. No, it wasn't. Okay, so I've got it mixed up. So it wasn't Anna Paulina Luna that was talking about the cannibalism. It was Lauren Boebert, who, remember, Alex Stein says he's friends with her.
Mm-hmm.
And that would make sense. I think he said she was the hottest one in Congress, didn't he? In his opinion?
Yeah, he did. And she's
between him and Nancy Mace. Her and Nancy Mace.
Yeah, but I mean, I think she's very fetching.
She is.
Nancy Boebert, yes.
Well, she vapes in public. She vapes in the theater, which I'm totally cool with. I'm cool with vaping in the theater. As long as you keep it low key. You can't blow like big clouds in the theater. You've got to do a little. I'll give you an example for those of you on YouTube. You do a little bit of that, then you. So you don't even know I vaped just now. Didn't even see it. You see any vape?
No.
You don't see any, do you?
Mm-mm.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're doing what the elders of the church used to do in Southern Baptist churches after church. Mm-hmm. They'd go out back to smoke.
Yep.
And they would just kind of keep it.
Yep, keep it low key. Mm-hmm. Got cup the hand, get the cigarette in the cup of your hand, and then hold it down by your side, and you got blow it off to the side. So what you had, when I was in high school, it's what we had to do under the bleachers. We just look left, look right. You have somebody on the outside of the bleachers watching for teachers. Sucking
Yeah.
down a Marlboro Light.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. Now, some teachers would come out here and smoke with you, but those were few and far between. You know, either teachers or bus drivers. Bus drivers were more notorious for, like, you know, I remember my buddy's older brother always getting handed a napkin whenever he would get off the bus in the afternoons. And what the bus driver was doing was giving him a cigarette.
Oh.
And he was like 16 or 17 years old, and it was this old lady, and she'd slide him a cigarette every time he got off the bus.
Well, man, back in the 70s, everybody smoked. The teachers smoked in the classroom. It was awful.
Oh, man, that'd be wild. But I guess what didn't happen back then?
What?
School shootings,
No.
fights, pansy parents that told their kid that they're the most important person in the world.
Yep.
Narcissism running rampant.
Yep.
None of that.
At our school, it was a big old paddle.
Time to get back to teachers smoking cigarettes in front of the kids.
Yep.
I'm just saying, if I ever ran for office, in order to fix some of the country's problems, or even if I just ran for Congress or governor of Alabama, I would make it mandatory. The teachers would have to smoke at least 3 cigarettes per day. Minimum 3 cigarettes per day.
What if they're non-smokers?
Still, got to smoke.
Could they do candy cigarettes?
They can do Ultra Light or Virginia Slim or something light.
They still have Virginia Slims.
I don't know, but mandatory for teachers to smoke cigarettes.
I like that. I'll stand behind you.
And with some medical exceptions, if you have a medical waiver, you can use
Like a vape.
Skull.
Skull.
Yeah, no, we're not doing vapes. Not doing vapes.
Yeah, okay.
It's got to be tobacco.
Old school, man.
They weren't vaping back then. There was no vape. There was no pomegranate cherry clouds floating around the classroom. It was straight tobacco.
Yeah, and
that leveled everybody
I say bring back crop tops and mini skirts.
I don't know that was going on back in the day.
Well, mini skirts and boots were, because my first grade teacher, I was in love with her.
She wore crop tops?
No, she didn't wear crop tops.
Back in the 60s?
Yeah, but I mean, we had students back in the day.
Oh, well, fair enough. Well, you are a little wilder than I thought you were.
Oh, yeah, out in the country, man. Are you kidding me?
But anyway, you tell me what's better for children, secondhand smoke or, psychotropic medicines, for whatever they're giving them, Ritalin or whatever. What do you think's better, a Marlboro Light or Ritalin? Exactly what I thought.
Yep. And you know what? If they're really having issues, toughen them up. Give them a unfiltered Chesterfield.
Yeah.
From the early 70s.
That's right. For the problem children,
they get Chesterfields.
They get Chesterfields. No filter. Actually, they would have to roll it themselves.
Oh, dang.
They would just get a bag of tobacco and rolling papers. They'd have to do it themselves. And then they would have to smoke 5 per day. See, I already got it all laid out. What? Tell me this.
That campaign man is smoking.
I'm just saying.
Sorry.
Well, listen. What is more likely to commit a school shooting? A kid full of hormone blockers or a kid with lungs full of Marlboro smoke?
Interesting.
There's your answer.
Interesting way to look at it.
And plus, tobacco, nicotine, testosterone. You never have to worry about transgenderism, gender dysphoria. Everybody's got the appropriate amount of hormones running through their body, at least for the boys.
Yes.
Let's keep in mind, it's the boys turning to girls that ultimately are usually the problem. So, more testosterone, man. God, I'm so smart.
Who needs all those pills and everything, man, when you got tobacco right there at you?
I'm a genius. I'm a freaking
I don't know how
genius.
you do it personally. I'm jealous.
It's a wonder this show's not national. Why is this show not national? How are we being suppressed to just Birmingham?
2026, baby. It's going to be a big year.
It's the year of the hey now.
Hey now.
Year of the line, baby. Ah. All right, hour number two. I'm sorry, hour number three. This is hour two. Hour number three is next. And I'll repeat my big announcement for the 10-year anniversary of Talk 99.5 Jawbone Jam coming up. Details right after.